All right, everyone, so for today's class, I just want to have a nice general discussion about everything. And someone has a question? I know for me, like for what the Air Force means, it's kind of funny. I like to think about like a good fun fact to start with. So, fun fact. Okay. We're gonna go ahead and get started. Okay, so no TV today, So I'm just gonna turn it over to the class and see what everyone has, you know, what you're thinking, what you're feeling, you know, what's on your mind, you know. We'll start with Bill. Bill, go ahead.
Oh, me? Oh. I mean, I'll tell you what I think about the Air Force. I personally don't agree with it. I don't agree with it at all. And I'll tell you why. People come into my office and in Mountain Home, and they ask me, like, hey, can you do something for me? And normally, I can do anything I need to, right? But, you know, I have to go behind the books, right? You give me a call, hey, $200, hey, you need a vasectomy? Done right there, okay? You need a transplant? Done right there. I got a guy in Korea. I'll take care of that. You know, that's how the Air Force should be. But nobody can handle the stress anymore, you know what I mean? Like they just can't deal with it, man. And that's why we get things done. That's why we get things done here.
So, Bill, I don't know if I agree with you on that. I think without the Air Force, I would not be able to do what I do in space. And without that, we would not be able to look at other things and in space, and I would not be able to eat all this food. So I think the Air Force is doing a great job. Yes, so Mike T, I don't know if I agree with that. Especially in my career field, I think about the Air Force a lot, and how it affects everybody else. So like things, everybody knows my profession, right? Airfield, ops, there it is, that's it. You remember it, right? So, yeah, no, but I think that it's important, to really keep perspective of that when you're doing your job. And I personally, I really do like my job. And yeah, so I don't know. I think the Air Force is great. I think it's doing a great job.
Well, I mean, I'll tell you what I think about the Air Force. It's from a story, and it's a story about a boy who grew up in West Texas, loved his country, loved the Lord, loved his family. That boy, he grew up strong, Christian boy, and mind his manners. Went to school, played football, grew up, still loved his country. And you know what happened to that kid? I'll tell you what. That kid grew up to be me. A warfighting machine you see in front of you right now. I'll be amazed, looking around at you, thinking about the Air Force. I mean, that warms my heart, seeing that happen. And I just want to say that I'm proud of you. I'm proud of every one of you right here, right now. I mean, you might appreciate your country a little more if you were from Texas, but hey, not everybody can be that blessed.
When I think about my job in the Air Force, I think about all the work I have to do, all the extra work, because I'm constantly working. That's why I have 6 laptops in front of me, because I'll constantly get orders, and they're orders for things that I don't want to do. And as an Air Force AFIT instructor, arguably a better instructor than Mike, I have to do these jobs, and I'll get orders like, hey, paint the frickin' walls in a building. I don't have time for that. I mean, and especially when it comes from a pilot, like Nick. I can't stand that.
So, Gemma,
I don't really necessarily agree with what you said. I mean, I don't really have a strong opinion either way. But I think that we're pretty busy. I'm pretty busy trying to get flights. I don't fly a lot. But when I do, I like to fly. And it's kind of one of the things I like to do. But I don't agree with that. Me personally, I don't really have an opinion on it, not necessarily. But I think that I think the Air Force is great. So Nick, I hear you, and I don't necessarily agree with that. And to be honest, I don't know. For me, I don't know if I think that what we should be worried about is necessarily how much we fly. That's just me. But I do think what's important is being at your home a lot and when to play golf. I like to play golf a lot. I like biscuits games. That's what's important to me. And I like being at the field and watching the ball go hit the bat and strike and go out into the outfield. That is exactly what I like to see. But that's for me, you know, that's just something I like to do. It may not be for everybody. And for me personally, I see that as a good thing. You know, so I think that if we can all come to terms with that, then shouldn't be any problems. So I think Splitter brings up a good point, and it makes me think about the Air Force as a whole. And when I think about the Air Force, I don't necessarily think about my job. I think more about things I enjoy doing, like wine. I love wine personally, and I can't stand Canon. It's not something I want to do very much more. And for me, I just want to get in the plane and just be crushing it, you know, just. So Jerry, I disagree with you, and I'll tell you why. At the end of the day, we have to think about the kids. And I know that in BMT, where I do most of my work, that you really have to focus on what they want and those needs. You can't necessarily look at the doctrine and say, hey, this is what we're gonna do for those kids, and because that's not gonna be the answer. Because at the end of the day, it's all about how you treat those kids, and they're gonna be the future. And that is honestly what I see in the Air Force, and that's what we lack. That is, we need to focus on those kids at the end of the day. Guys, I think that Mike Weaver just brought up a really good point. And it's like, for me, I know as security forces, I mean, a lot of people look at me and they think like, hey, is that guy crazy or is he on drugs? And it has nothing to do with that. And I mean, for me, personally, I think that it's important to really like keep perspective on what everybody has said, and I think everybody brought really good points. And I mean, for me, I get up in the morning and I'm like, "Arise, champion!" And I think to myself like that's what we need to do. That's like, you know, like, let's go, you know, like let's go do it. Anyways, you guys want to get out of here? You want to get out of here? Y'all, I cannot stand. When I think about the Air Force, I think about being a mother, okay? And when I think about that, it makes me so upset. Like, the mother's room, I mean, you haven't donated a lot yet, and that makes me really upset. And like, things like this hat right here, that makes me upset too. And I am loud, guys. I am so loud, and that is just my personality, so yeah. And if you don't like that, I don't know, what do you all think? Do you think I'm too loud?